Anthropic's best model Fable is back, and today I want to do a slightly different video to what we normally do. Normally we look at the models, compare them, try to deduce where maybe models are not very good, maybe some other downsides, but today I want to do a very indulgent video. I just want to savor the moment, what kind of model we have access to, especially for a few days while it's still in the part of the Claude Code subscription. And I really just want to show you guys some of the cool generations that I've done. I've done, I think, about 60 odd generations. I want to show you some of the best ones that I got. So today will be more kind of imagine like a delicious cake. You get a cake, you don't want to ruin it, you don't want to think about the calories, you don't want to think about that you paid $18 for the piece of cake. But the fact that it is just a delicious cake. So no government regulation, no blocks, no rate limits, no costs, just what we can do. Fable here on the Arena, on the agent Arena, got the highest score ever, and we keep testing it now to get the more up-to-date score as well. And I'm very excited to see how it's gonna work for all of you guys on the Arena. But today I've got a lot of different tests that I've done. They're gonna all be these kind of 3D tests where I'm giving it very difficult prompt, typically that very long prompt, sometimes a bit shorter, and then it goes off for a while and then it comes up with something. A lot of them are one shot, but a bunch of them maybe I've done a little tweaks as well, got it to make some improvements. So let's get into it. Let's see what cool stuff it's done. So this is the first one, and man, this is completely insane, right? So you can see how difficult the prompt is, but hopefully you recognize it, right? It's Manhattan, right? With so much detail. I don't know Manhattan that well, like I don't know how accurate it is, but like superficially to me, apart from the buildings being underwater, this looks to me like pretty accurate, right? So we've got like Central Park here in so much detail. We've got kind of the taller buildings, the like you can see, like this is like completely insane. Noon, dusk, yeah, like I've not seen any model come anywhere near close doing something like that with so much complexity. And like we can take a look at the code here. Is it just, no, that can't be right, yeah. So, oh yeah, so, yeah, actually, could it be, yeah, 1600 lines of code. Anyway, so yeah, very, very impressive. You might have seen that one before, I posted this before, but this is a voxel generation of Rome, which is like by far the best. So in terms of the detail, in terms of the kind of the coherence of different elements, like completely insane. If we look at some others, so you can see here, I did have a follow-up prompt here. I asked it to just make the flow a little bit nicer. But what we are seeing here is that, yeah, let's see. So what we're seeing here is the 7 wonders of the world, so lighthouse of the Alexandria, and it goes through the different steps. So kind of we are sailing past them, and it shows what they are. The difficulty here is that how much of the world that it needs to create. Right, this is the complexity of the space and how much it would be able to like dedicate to each one. And then we've got extra like complexity of the light and yeah, the hanging goddess of Babylon. And each one like wouldn't be, to be honest, if I asked for each individual one to be done in a high level of detail, it would be even more impressive. But here, this kind of combination of different ones, that's what I'm impressed by here. If we keep looking, so there were a couple of iterations here. Let's have a look at this one. Oh yeah, so that one was quite cool. So let's play this and I'll tell you a bit more about it. So this one is a view of London over a couple of thousand years. So London is an old city with a lot of history. So there's a Great Fire of London here. So it started off in Londinium, which is like before the current era, like 2000 years ago when it was a Roman town. And then it goes through the times, and it's showing me the kind of the different key steps. Like there was Great Fire of London, there's the Blitz during the Second World War, and now this is the modern times. And again, if I was just to ask it to generate the modern London, it will do a better job than this. Like we can't like, I mean, I said I'm not going to do this, but you know, it's not like perfect. But the fact that it had to kind of create all of those scenes and kind of how they evolve, that's like really, really impressive. And to be like at least point to historical accuracies and the shape of London and all of this. This is really cool. This is very, very impressive generation. And yeah, you can see how the whole scene is changing and so on. This is just so cool. Let's keep looking. Oh yeah, so this is Paris. This was a one-shot generation, so I didn't ask for any iterations. I think there is more opportunity to make it better, but this is quite cool. Like nice, sweet generation. Let's not spend too much time on it, but the Golden Gate one, I was actually trying to do it last time, but it never quite like worked out for me. It was like timing out or breaking or something like that. So now I put effort to make sure that we do get the Golden Gate. And I think I've got like 2 or 3 of them. The reason why I do want it is that we have quite a lot of comparison examples. I'm not going to show them here just for brevity, but it kind of gives me an intuition of where it is. And in terms of the quality of the actual bridge, like there's like water here, there's like the ships going, like traffic going. I want to have like variety of traffic. Like all of this is completely like top notch. Right? The shape of the bridge is not the kind of thing that you actually see models like generate well. Oh yeah, the comment here, like this, the reflections you see, this is like really, really nice. Oh yeah, you can even drive. I can't even remember if this was in the prompt. I don't think other models like did that. So like this is really, really excellent. There's still some weirdness, like why is there no road here? Why there's like, it kind of goes through the mountain weirdly. So like you can nitpick, but like this is really, really excellent. I think I was trying to really make sure that I do get one at least. So I had like 3 of them, I think. So you can see a little bit different. I think the first one was better. I can't remember if I did any follow-ups. No, that was actually one shot. Oh no, not quite. Oh yeah, you see, I did. That was one thing that I did ask it to do like a few times. So this was V1. I'm not sure like V2 is that much better. Like maybe a little bit. But yeah, sometimes I was asking it to try and be more ambitious, and that was definitely a theme. I would say if I was to nitpick more, kind of a failure mode that I was experiencing is that I was feeling that the model can do so much more than it was generating. And sometimes it really felt like it was kind of holding back almost and like not doing a great job. So yeah, I did kind of kick it a few times. So maybe like if you're not quite getting as good generations as this, maybe try and encourage it to like be more ambitious. And this was one shot, I think. Yeah. And this is actually probably the best one out of those 3, because look at the road. This is the first one where it was actually, the road is actually going through like at least more plausibly. And in here, yeah, the water, look at that. I mean, this is crazy. Like, this is so good. Like, yeah, excellent generation. Like, I think this is like pretty clearly, especially for one shot, like this is pretty clearly the top generation. I did get to some really good ones with like, I think GPT-5, I can't quite remember the version Pro model, but it took like 10 iterations to get to something good, like really good. But here, this is one shot. I mean, I can't get enough of this water. This is crazy. Yeah, and let's see the comet time of day. So if I go to the night, I've got the comet button here. And not the absolute best one, but yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on from the bridges. We've got a lot more to look at. So this one is a historic Istanbul, which is a capital city of Turkey, if you're not sure. Previously Constantinople, and rich history, and it kind of straddles the Europe here on my left, and then Asia on my right. So a little education for you. Hopefully you knew all of that anyway. So yeah, like brilliant generation. Like look at this water, look at the reflection, and you can nitpick. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not floating like midair like this, but this is just completely insane. So you've got the Blue Mosque, the Hagia, I'm gonna get the name right, Sophia, Hagia Sophia here as well. Yeah, this is just brilliant in terms of like, I'm sure like people from Turkey would look at this and say, oh, that's all wrong. But like in terms of the outlines, this is looking like completely exceptional. Like look at this, how many elements of complexity it needs to get right for this to come together is pretty insane. And that's why I'm excited about these tests. It's not that you particularly care, like not many of us actually care about the 3D generations, but how smart does the model need to be that I can give it a prompt that I'm pretty sure it's not like trained on generating Istanbul, but the fact that it can come and like arrange the city accurately. It needs to know that. It needs to know how to render the water, how to coordinate different elements. This is impressive. So that's why like I think that's quite a nice test. That things like dynamism, right, where we can see the different elements moving, right? How does it create like this kind of glittering ice city here? Like this is pretty cool, right? This kind of diversity, the fact that it doesn't just like mode collapse into like one narrow space. So hopefully that gives you a feel for like what's the range of this model that it can do. So here the Winter Palace in Beijing. I think it's like maybe slightly missing some of those, but actually maybe not. Yeah, no, maybe. To me, this looks like amazing. And yeah, time of day maybe. Oh yeah. I think this was one shot. So yeah, maybe I would have given it a few pointers, but like the quality of this is just exquisite. Right? I hope you agree. So I know I'm not spending a lot of time on these, but just I have so many. I want to show you guys so many. So this is Phi Phi Islands in Thailand, and this is just this kind of magical place. So you can see the lagoon and the boats and this kind of really beautiful clear water, like all of this kind of all together. Yeah, just the water, I'm blown away by how well it does the water, and the little boats moving through, they're all also very coherent, very coordinated. Like that's what I'm impressed by good models, is when they're properly coordinated, the different elements are properly coordinated with each other. What we see sometimes with not so good models is that they kind of try something and then other things like don't fit at all and they kind of break away. And I think it's like a reasonable proxy for us to be able to kind of see like how good are models like at doing more complicated tasks, right? If it's like does 80% of it correctly and the last 20% is all over the place, even if it's like cheaper, faster model, right? Do you want to then be debugging the last 20%? And I think it's not like, I'm not actually suggesting that the right answer is always to go for the fanciest model, like maybe not, but it's just something that you need to be calibrated on, that if you are doing these kind of complicated tasks, it could be taking you so much more work to untangle like the last details. And I've certainly had a lot of experience of like having to do that myself when it's like not quite getting this right. You're getting to the 95% in one shot, and then the last 5% you are like tinkering for 2 hours. Like I have a lot of personal experience and anxieties of that. So I'm just showing you like a few cool things just while I'm talking. Like I don't want to like call out too many specific things just not to overload you. But the general pattern is like super clear, right? These are, I don't want to say cherry picked, like I've selected probably, I probably did like, call it, I don't know, 90, maybe like 70, 80 prompts. But these are sort of about 65 that I'm showing you, like, oh yeah, 63 prompts. So this is not like cherry picked exactly, but this is like selected down a little bit. So there were like a few that I haven't shown you guys, but they're mostly like, they were kind of weird things such as like the axis wasn't turning and so on, but these are not like heavily cherry picked. It's not like I've generated 500 and I'm showing you just like this small sliver. This is more like I've generated maybe 20% more and I've selected down a few that was like some weird bugs or something that I just like didn't have time to clear out. So this is like almost completely unfiltered. And sometimes it's completely one shot, but sometimes I would get it to do maybe 1 or 2 iterations. And when I was doing iterations, a couple of times it was maybe some kind of slight visual bugs, like maybe I could have gotten it to fix the stairs here, just kind of going through that. Or sometimes it was just like, I thought a little bit lazy, so it could have pushed itself a bit harder. So let me just keep showing you some more cool things. So Grand Budapest Hotel, again, pretty impressive stuff. This is what I was getting you to do, is to just like tidy up a little bit the kind of coordination of different elements. But what it is doing here, the idea here is that it's showing the ancient Egypt build out. And it's like how the different elements appearing, how the pyramid is being built. And man, this is just so cool that models like can do that at all. Right, look at this, the little people moving, the workers are moving, the pyramids are being built out. Like this is just like completely awesome, the fact that they can do that at all. And I appreciate, you know, yeah, there are definitely some issues you can like debate, but the fact that this like at all works, like I think is really worth kind of recognizing that I had no idea this was at all possible. So I'm very impressed. More pyramids already built. Yeah, this is very beautiful. I would say that kind of stuff, it's already kind of almost tapped out the quality, because I did get like previously before when I was using this specific prompt, it was quite similar. Like I think Opus 4.8 was kind of generating that kind of quality already. So that's why I'm moving on to like harder prompts that I want to show. This one is meant to be showing like the Roman Empire and how it gets built out. Actually, let me show you. This was V1. Let me show you V2. I think it will be this more complicated one. Yeah, so I got it to tidy things up a little bit. I wasn't like quite perfectly happy with it, and I think it's just my standards keep going up, you know, moving goalposts in a crazy way. But it's meant to be kind of showing the development of the Roman Empire. And I thought it's like slightly like a bit too cartoonish almost, like the elements like don't quite fit nicely. But I don't know, maybe I need to think about my prompt for this one. Like what do I actually have in mind? But yeah, anyway, this kind of complexity, and even like to build a map, I bet you give this to a weaker model, it wouldn't get to this map even. But the fact that it can tell the history of the Roman Empire and how it developed, like this is pretty insane. And I think what Fable is particularly good at is actually this kind of educational content about like showing how things were and kind of explaining different elements. I think it has kind of improved on the kind of theory of mind side of things, like quite a bit, which is definitely an issue that a lot of the models had. So this kind of imagining what the user is thinking and trying to kind of address that. I think that's like a really nice improvement. So it's much better at explanations. It's much better in this kind of scientific data presentation, telling me like what, how to like look at this data set, that kind of thing. That's really good. So this one is Pompeii, and again, this is kind of telling the history of Pompeii a little bit, and it's kind of, you can see the timer going through, and it is showing how the kind of oh, look at that, there's a kind of the ash, and the people escaping. I know I sound excited about, I mean, it's been a while. Yeah, so it's telling the whole story of it, of Pompeii, the eruption, and how like the whole world has changed. So the fact that it can tell this in such an immersive way and coordinating different elements, like it's crazy, right? Like this is so good. Yeah, I had no idea. I just had no idea this is even possible, to be honest. Yeah, we've kind of gone through the cycle here. Right, let's keep looking. I hope you guys not getting bored of this. Like, I love this stuff. Like, I don't even, yeah, Minoan festival. So again, the ancient culture. I think it was in Greek islands kind of area. I think it's in Crete, where they were kind of showing me this traditional ceremony. I don't know enough about this to judge how realistic that is, but it looks pretty cool. So, oh yeah, this is another ancient festival here, and oh yeah, it's showing the whole procession here. Again, like I think for educational content, that's something I didn't predict at all. The fact that it could be so good for this kind of like take something that I don't know enough about and just explain to me in this kind of visual way what it looks like. I don't know if any of you are in education and you are maybe teaching some particular topic. Like maybe try this. I don't know, maybe that could be like quite a cool thing, or get your students to do this. Maybe it's quite a cool way to learn about any like particular events. And these are kind of slightly like semi-random ones, which I vaguely remember like from school. But yeah, maybe any like specific topics. Pretty sure I've seen some of this in a British museum. At least like the mock-ups, but yeah, that could be interesting. Petra here, yeah, a lot of, you can see like the quality of generation. So yeah, worth exploring. Yeah, this one I like, the Saharan caravan, as a kind of test of ability to coordinate different elements. And this is like this is really nice. I mean, I wish they were like a little bit more grounded. So there's still a little bit room for improvement. But the fact that each camel is like nicely designed, you can see it. Like this is each individual one. This is pretty cool. Cappadocia here, we had like a bunch of these generations. And what I find normally is that it's a lot of the models kind of do it in a very kind of almost like schematic way. But here it actually created these kind of valleys that are realistic, like the houses there, like, yeah, it looks like much higher level of realism that it attains to, not just kind of plopping a few things and balloons, which is like vast majority of the other generations as well. And you can see like pretty much whatever I pick just looks kind of incredible and well set out. I think, yeah, Stonehenge, I think much more on the realistic side than some of the others that I've seen. So that's definitely like an improvement forward. So, oh yeah, what was that? Yeah, I think it's another festival. Yeah, maybe, I mean, looks cool, but let's keep looking. Yeah, so another ancient one, and I think what I was trying to get at here is this kind of, yeah, I think you can see the fidelity here is not quite as high as some of the others, so that's definitely like a downside. And I think if I had asked it to maybe put more effort into that, maybe it could have done that. But I think what we're trying to gauge here is this kind of overall ability to create the whole world. So yeah, and like yeah, the Zhangjiajie stone forest kind of floating through that. Not sure how realistic this is, I don't think so, but it's a kind of a nice, yeah, nice kind of also world that is created and its ability to kind of go through that. All right, I'm gonna keep going and see how many of you watch until the end. I've got a few more tabs. So this is a game. I know people had like incredible experiences building out games. I haven't quite got it to this point. And this was a couple of iterations, if I remember correctly, where I was getting it to like improve the gameplay a bit more. So I guess it's like, look, I mean, it is a cool generation, but I wouldn't say to me there's like a super impressive game. So the one that I like better is actually this one. Again, took a couple of generations, but I wanted to like have a game. Ooh, come on. Oh no, I missed it. Oh yeah, I can lower the hook. Yeah, well, I can destroy things. Look at that. Oh no, let's hide this. Wow, this is look at everything shaking. That's kind of cool. Like this is not, I wouldn't call this like game, but look at that. It's definitely like much more within the direction of games, right? Where you want to have like things moving around and the whole world kind of being created. But yeah, maybe I can work on my gaming prompts a little bit more. I think like I feel like some other examples that I've seen are a little bit more impressive than this. But that's kind of cool. Anyway, another cool thing that turns out you can do, which I didn't know. The flight simulator, I think I was kind of hoping it will look like a little bit better. I think actually there was a V2, no? Yeah. Yeah, the cockpit was kind of like looks a little bit weird, and I didn't quite get to the point that I wanted. But it's still like to get to this point, to even have such a render of the world, this is pretty impressive. Oh yeah, this one is like, I think it's not like completely perfect what I imagined, but I think this is far more complicated than I imagined that it has to do. So this is again, I believe there should be 3JS as well, right? Yeah, so, and it's generating this kind of 3D world, but it's putting it in this kind of a 2D view, which I think is like kind of maybe unfair thing to ask. But the fact that it like creates this slice of the city, you've got the underground there, you've got the station, you've got like the different pipes, you've got the street level, each individual, like, wow, look at the level of detail. Like you can probably, I don't know, maybe there's a different way to do this. Maybe my prompt was like a little bit too like specific about like all of these elements. But the fact that it did something like this, like I had no idea you could do this. this looks like very, very impressive to me. I'll show you a few more. There's like London stuff. I have tried this on other models. And again, the coherence of the different elements, how they're placed and that they're not overlapping. This is like so much better than so many models. A lot of models were kind of maybe things are like, I don't know, the Londoney would be in the middle of the river, like for example, like something like that. And the fact that here, and it's not to scale, but like the fact that different elements are placed like pretty much as good as you can imagine, like in terms of in relation to each other, they're all placed accurately. This is like super cool, like super, super cool. Yeah, you can see more London. You can see I've got a London prompt collection. A few more as well. Yeah, anyway, it's like anything I show you is just looks like insane. So this is kind of a little game, and this was a version 2. This was actually, I think, one iteration, and I was getting it to just up the fidelity and the realism and the quality. Maybe let me show you. I think there was a V1 in here. You can see that's a V1 where it's like, if you look at the houses, you look at the river, it looks like at the canal, it kind of looks a little bit basic. Versus here, like look at the quality of the water rendering here. So that was one iteration for it to do that. But in terms of like gameplay, I don't know. It's like it's pretty basic. I don't know. Maybe I need to learn more about how to make games and what to prompt for. But it's not like great game. But the fact that actually controls are like probably the best that I've seen models do. Controller is one thing models just not good at. So, oh yeah, finish. Look at that. Perfect. Let's see. Oh yeah, did this work? Oh yeah, this was, yeah, another like couple of iterations. Again, probably, I know I said at the beginning, I'm not gonna like criticize the models too much, but this is kind of cool, but I'm still not quite getting to the point that I've seen some other generations about like the games. So maybe I'll keep trying some better ones. I think, yeah, they were like kind of fun, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like I want to play them. Like feels like 30 seconds and I'm bored. But the controls are like really, really high quality. And by the way, this is just because I opened too many tabs. It's not like there's some problem with the model. That's why just my Chrome is not opening things properly. Oh yeah, this one. This one, I think actually I got Fable to generate few prompts for me. So this one, and I was trying to get it to go a little bit wild, and it created here, what would it be like being the firework, like inside the firework. So it needs like a little bit of a focusing to understand what's going on here. So you can see there's a city below and you're kind of being blown to smithereens here as the firework, which is like, I guess is like an interesting idea. So that's what we were up there. So yeah, Fable also creating some fun prompts for itself. Few others, I'm gonna try and get through all of these. I know maybe it's like a little bit too much, but bear with me. This is the creation of Michelangelo. Again, I'm just trying to push it like as much as I can, like just do anything possible. Yeah, it kind of goes through the motions, and yeah, I just can't get enough of like how cool this stuff is. I mean, not quite Michelangelo rendered at the end, but like this stuff is cool. We are going into this art section now. So this is Clint's like famous painting The Kiss, and I was trying to get it to like create some kind of 3D world where it can actually go into it and you can like flow around it. And I don't know what I was expecting, but like this looks kind of cool. Right? You see, you can flow around and you can like see the flowers. Like, yeah, like that's completely unreasonable thing for me to like expect the models to do. But I also want to see like how they're going to do it. Like, look at this. So this is Starry Night by Van Gogh. And in here, if asked it to like create the world of it, right? But like, how would you do that in 3GS? Because, or like any 3D generation approach? Because the way, like if you look at the painting, it's like this kind of smudges of paint. Like, so how would you even go about creating this? And the fact that it like did this kind of weird, like lines, like individual lines that come together into the painting, like how cool is that? Like this is just completely mind-blowing. All right, this is cool, cool stuff. All right, I think I'm lost. Anyway, like this is just super cool. Whoa. All right, maybe I'm gonna play with this later. Oh no, okay, geez, this world is massive. Look at like the stars here with the Starry Night. I mean, I know it's weird, but I like it. Let's keep looking. What else do we have? Oh yeah, another one. So this is Monet's lilies here, and this is a real place, but there are like numerous paintings. And in here again, this kind of technique that it used here to like create this kind of impressionist style 3JS generations. I mean, I don't know, like maybe tell me if I'm being overly impressed by this, but I think this is insane. Like, how could you even like, I don't know, is this like in the training data? Am I missing something? I've never seen anything like this. So I don't know. If it's not in the training data, then it's like real levels of creativity there by Fable. And that's another one. So this is like, I hope you guys recognize this. This is like The Wave by Japanese artist. Actually, I don't know if I know the name. Yeah, and there's like Mount Fuji in the distance. And I have even checked, like this is 3JS, right? And I'm no 3JS expert, but I didn't know you can do that kind of thing. Like this is really, really cool. So it kind of created this kind of almost like paper-like feel of the generations. And I think that idea that you could even do that and like how you would do that, this kind of very papery feel, which creates the this whole experience of the wave. I even haven't tried that. Yeah, you can see it move as well. Like this is, yeah, I'm impressed. This is cool stuff. More stuff. The Tower of Babylon, very cool. Love it. Yeah, there's probably more stuff I can show you inside. Let's see. Oh yeah, that one was interesting. So this is Pollock. So Jackson Pollock rather. If you know his art, he does this kind of, I don't know, super post-impressionist, this kind of paintings where the paint is flowing everywhere. And what we want to do here is to, like, again, get the model. It kind of looks like that, right? This is accurate. We want to get the model to create this kind of world where you can go and float around it. And then they created this kind of 3D view of Jackson Pollock's painting. And I don't know if it resembles any specific painting. I'm not such a big expert on his art, but so this might not be exactly accurate, but like the fact that it even thought to do that kind of thing, like that is cool. Like this is really, really cool. Right, let me not get stuck on this. More cool stuff. So this is, I think this is another prompt that I got Fable to like just like go wild and come up with some stuff. And this is like a raindrop, experience of a rainstorm in a garden, 1 millimeter tall, kind of ant height. And what I like about this is that it's kind of making the objects in the distance more blurry. Actually, it's understanding like what would it feel like to be in that kind of environment. And I think this kind of experience that it can create, it can imagine the different elements, like what would things look like. And this is nuts. Like this is really, really cool stuff. And I hope you guys hope you're not thinking about this as like, oh, you know, a bunch of silly stuff, but it's impressive. I think it just shows you that you can, I imagine you've got lots of different other tasks, but what you should do is really to think about what else can you do that is maybe different to what you would have expected the models to do before, right? I think this is the time when we've got such an overhang of the capabilities that there is no way we would have like tried to do this 6 months ago, right? So if you kind of built up your routines and what you know about this 6 months ago, then this is like completely different world. This is the crossing of the Red Sea, Jesus. And you know, you can go and you can have a look around and fly around. Insane, right? Yeah, and you can go across. Yeah, crazy world, crazy times we live in. Yeah, Gara, oh yeah, I think that was V1 and I gave it some feedback that was like a little bit too like floaty and so on. So, oh yeah, the viewing platforms were a bit weird. So I got it to do like more stuff. So yeah, look at this. Like, I think I was just throwing more stuff at it and just see like what else it can do. And like, it just kept going. Like I actually, like the ones that it kind of failed at that I have not included, it was quite often not because it was like, oh, it's too hard, it like it couldn't do it or something. It's more that it was like some generations were excellent, but I just like, because I've got so many that I didn't want to like tinker with each one for too long. I was basically just generating really high quality outputs, almost like no matter what I asked. So these are like the hardest prompts I could possibly think of. Like, okay, maybe I'm not asking to like create GTA 6, like I'm sure it wouldn't work, but like any kind of reasonable things I can expect it to do as a like HTML file, like I can't think of anything particularly harder I can ask that what I'm already asking. So I think it's like on a lot of these things, they're like tapping out already. Like look at the bears feeding on salmon. Is it actually gonna eat something? I mean, it's pretty fat already. Oh my gosh, look at that. It got the salmon. And going off on a walk to eat it. I mean, do they do that? Do they just eat it? Oh, look, there's another one. And how crazy is that? Like, this is just, you know, just makes me happy for a little bit. I know we're not gonna like, all of our subscriptions and so on gonna go to hell and then it's gonna be super expensive to do it. But you know, use agent mode, then you might get it on the arena. And yeah, you might get this kind of stuff. Like this is cool stuff. So in conclusion, I'm gonna finish showing you like a few, but I want to conclude just by saying like, look, like AI industry is developing very fast, right? These are the kinds of things that like it's very hard to keep up with. So I want to show you what are the kinds of things you can do. And my goal with this is to help you maybe think about, like just broaden your mindset a little bit about the kind of things that are possible. Like these things were not possible like even a month ago before Fable, right? You couldn't do this. Or like you maybe could do this with a lot of iteration. So the fact that you can do this now is like just the coolest thing. And I'm sure you don't care about 3JS generations like yourself, but you do have something that you would care about, and whether it's like, I don't know, your little app that you're building on the side, or your you've got, I don't know, a small business you're running, or you're just a hobbyist developer, or whatever it is, or you're a mathematician. Like, there is probably something that you haven't thought about so far that previous models couldn't do that now you could do. So this is like a kind of ink, like Japanese ink world, where it's like painting the brushes and you can see it, look at the ink in a lot of detail. Like how, like, who knows, no one needs that, but it's like, it's so cool. And I really encourage you to try and push the models and try and make sure that you really put yourself in a position where you can benefit from these models. Don't get stuck on what the model could have been doing 6 months ago, right? Don't worry about, it's like cost too much money, that's a bummer. Use Arena, try and get Fable on the agent mode. But they're like rate limits, blah, blah, blah. But this is something that's going to get cheaper, it's going to get more accessible. And hopefully you guys will get to a point that if you do try these things, you can get ahead, of everyone. You can come up with new things to do. And the coolest thing about this is that because it's so new, even people who work in these labs, they don't understand yet everything that these models can do. So I would really encourage you to go and like try things out, try and build. This is, by the way, the space elevator that we're looking at. Like build what's the space elevator in your world, right? Try and do that. No one's tried this before. Whether you're using Fable or something else, these models will keep getting better. As you can see, I'm quite excited about this. It's quite a light-hearted episode. So hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next one.